Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fokota Television. Today, I'm going to interact with some amazing teachers in Taita Taveta University, and I'm just requesting their views on whether CPC, as per now, should be scrapped or staying in a good way. So let me interact with them and let me listen to their views. I would just request you to tell us your name and your views on the same. Thank you. First of all, let us start by a little bit of introduction. How are you, brother?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's your name?
I'm Mwalimu Clinton December.
Mariam Clinton December.
Yeah.
Nice one. How are you, brother?
I'm Zachary Olwach. I'm a teacher also.
You are a teacher. Nice one.
I'm Nyaboke Esther. You can call me Madam Nya. I'm a teacher of biology and agriculture.
Thank you so much. So, guys, I'm Muracha the Great from Fokota Television, and I'm today here for a simple reason, just to know your views on the current CPC. Nyinyi kama walimu mnaona ni vizuri muendelee kumenyana na kuku ama CPC tolewe kabisa? Tupeni your views. We will start with Zakar Loch.
Okay, according to my own view, the government has invested a lot in CBC. So scrapping it will lead to waste of public resources that has already been invested. So I think what the government should do is just to make some reviews, so that at least they should at least do some things that can reduce the cost to parents. Most of the parents are crying that CBC is expensive. So the government learning resources come with ways that have become a burden to the parents. The government should provide such learning resources so that it becomes easier for parents to take their kids to CBC classes. Then another thing, CBC is advantageous because at least it keeps the learners with it promotes the logical reasoning of the learners. It is more of more practical compared to the current curricula. So I think it should be maintained and only some corrections, some reviews done.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sasa wewe umeamua sasa ni lazima ukule hiyo kuku.
Yeah, kuku lazima nikule. CBC is good, it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only that anything that has advantage must have a disadvantage.
As well.
And I think CBC has a lot of advantages compared to disadvantages.
Thank you so much, Sakala Loch. He seems to be submitting that CPC should be reinstated. Let us listen to Mwalimu Clinton December mwenyewe. How are you, senior?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. As Sarah said, I'm Clinton December, also known as Mwalimu Clinton December. I'm a fourth-year student at Taita Taveta University, taking Bachelor of Education, Chemistry, Mathematics. So I can't just say that CBC is bad, but of course something can be good, and at all cost it can have some limitations, that is disadvantages. CBC, as my brother Zachary Roach had said earlier, it has taken enough of resources from the government in the implementation of it, in coming up with how it has been up to now. It has taken a lot of monies, so we cannot just say that we just come from nowhere and scrap it. It's around 3 days ago since our president no, it's not now elect, but our president Dr. William Samoei Ruto appointed some 42 committee member staff are aboard, so that they can just come up with some views on how CBC is on how and where CBC is heading to. So, and just we are expecting that they just do the research, and they were not expecting to scrap this CBC, because I think it is so advantageous to many of the students or people, because it is more of practical. It implies that these students or pupils are getting skills directly. So unlike us, who went through this 844 system, whereby you just get the theoretical nature. So I think this CBC should not be scrapped off. But the disadvantage is, how I wish that some changes may be done, so that, because many parents are complaining that this CPC is too expensive and tiresome to the extent that they are doing assignments on behalf of the pupils and students up to 2 a.m. in the night. So I wish that they fix it somehow and so that some of it can be equal. I think that is enough for it. Any question I can be able to answer.
Thank you. I've seen you mention that CPC should be dealt in a such a way that it does not favor only the rich people.
Yeah.
So, what's your submission under that? Because as per now, most people are complaining that CPC looks to be more expensive.
Yeah, so I can say that we can have because from the previous scenario, I've had some cases whereby each pupil or each student is sent a whole hen to run through some practicals. So I think that is not logic. They can just implement and decide that a teacher has some case whereby he can compel and know that this student comes from a good background compared to this one. So they can combine this one and they just do as a mean of just a little contribution. This one gives 20, this one gives 20, and they buy one chicken. This chicken can be used as an experiment in the radar and not to each pupil bringing a hen to school.
Thank you. A question to both of you,
Yeah.
Mr. Sakaloj.
Yes.
What do you think the task force that Dr. William Ruto set aside 42 members? What is your basic advice to them? What will you like them to consider when they are making their final submission to the report?
First of all, they should consider the amount of resources the government has put in place
Yeah.
to ensure that CBC thrive. Another thing they should consider is the state of living of our parents. Most of the parents are not well off, so they should at least advise the government to reduce the cost of CBC by maybe by helping parents buy some of the stuff that are needed for the teaching of CBC.
Okay. Thank you so much. And your view on the same?
Yeah, as my brother Sagoro just said, I think they just consider. You see, in the implementation of CPC, it has taken a lot of time, and I think much of the resources have been used by the government in this implementation of it. So I think this 42 member staff plus the 7 secretaries that totaling to 49, they just do they just come in mind and into place that how to consider they can consider the amount of resources which has been used there, and then just they know they just gauge between the advantages and the disadvantages. But I think the advantages surpass the disadvantages. So let us just do those two, and with those two, they can just come up with a clear evaluation on that progress of TPC.
Okay. As per now, do you think that CPC has impacted the life of the young people when comparing CPC with 844? What is the big difference that makes you to choose CPC over the 844 system?
Yeah, first, CPC is just more practical. And this life, as we are heading and where we are heading to, in fact, life is now more practical. We don't need a theoretical life because when outside here you get some graduates, they went through the 844 system, but they are not even having any skills on where to on how to do something. So this CBC, it's more practical. You can just see even the pupils and the students who are coming out of it, they are just more equipped with some skills, even if they are so young. So I think this thing is so nice.
Thank you. Solution the same.
Okay, what I can say, the current curriculum that we are still using, the 844 system, actually it promotes rote learning. For a good example is here in TTU, here in campus. Most of us doesn't study early. So what we normally do is during the exam periods we just cram and deliver in the exams. So that is so much different from what CBC is offering. CBC is based on practical, it is based on real life situations, and I think it will be of good help to our incoming graduates, the upcoming graduates.
Anyway, thank you so much for your submissions. I can see that you megemea sana isimamishwe hapo mkule kakitu.
Kuku lazima tukule.
No, to the issue of chicken, actually, I think according to my view,
Yeah.
it was just a meme created by
It's a meme, but anyway,
So,
the CBC.
yeah, just to tame the name of the teachers, but
So walimu wamesema
Yeah, we are just so much
Isitolewe.
contented with our life, and just we have hands to eat. We don't depend on the hands of the people.
Okay.
Yeah, that is it.
Anyway, thank you so much for your submission. A big shout out to who?
yes,
A big shout out to who?
shout out.
Ungependa kusalimia nani mwenye unamheshimu sana na umbe watu wakutafute wapi? Kama una mitandao.
The first of all is my mom.
Yeah.
Mom is my best friend. So ningependa kumsalimia sana. The another guy that I would like to greet is my dad, my able dad, who actually whose efforts has enabled me to be where I am today. And the last one is the love of my life, Aida.
Hiyo ndiye alikuwa kuja watatu bro. Si angeanza huko juu.
My parents first.
Tukutafute wapi?
Mimi nipo
mitandao yako Facebook
najitazak all watch, Instagram the same, and WhatsApp. Maybe you have my number. I call.
Some people ready to come in, eh?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's very fantastic. What about you?
And Clinton December, I just first of all want to thank my parents, Richard and Stella December. So they have been of good importance to me because they have imparted me to this level. So, and the second person I just say hi to is Honorable Vincent Kamosi Mugaka and Madam Marie Murake, the first lady, West Mugrang constituency. Yeah, they have just of great importance to my life. And then I say hi to all those who have been on my side. And then to just get me, you can just search on Facebook Mwalimu Clinton December and like that page. Yeah, and then on Twitter, Mwalimu Clinton December at Clinton Mwalimu. So you can get me there. We chat. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your submission. I think it is done. Thank you for
Welcome, brother.
Joining for Kota Television.
Thank
and
you.
Your views. Sini tuseme hiyo panel watafute for your views, eh?
Yeah. They should look for us.